Welcome to Impact Farming, where we introduce you to the people and ideas that will have a massive impact on your farming operation. Brought to you by Farm Marketer. Sit down, start the engine, and let's roll with today's show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Impact Farming Show. Today, we have a great guest with us. We have Darcy Herauf from FCC joining us. Welcome, Darcy.
Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me today.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Sun's shining in Regina, and it's not too windy today. It's going to be a nice day.
Right on. We are happy to have Darcy on the show, and we are going to be speaking about data transparency in agriculture. And in particular, we're going to weave that through with AgExpert. So Darcy, you are the director for FCC's AgExpert platform. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are in your role, and then we'll dive right into our show today?
Sure. As the director of the platform, I lead the team that builds and supports and works with customers that use our AgExpert software. So we have a couple of software programs. One is AgExpert Accounting, and the other one is AgExpert Field, as far as our cloud platforms go. And really, our goal in AgExpert is to really help Canadian farmers digitize their records. Farmers are, they're pretty good record keepers, but a lot of their record keeping is still pen and paper, little notepads. What we want to do is provide a really solid and simple way for them to digitize their records. We think the power is in the data. And without having your data in a digital format, it's really hard for farmers to use it for insights or to improve or optimize their management practices.
I completely agree, and that is why I'm so excited to have you on the show. Today, my goals for the show, are to speak about the benefits of technology in agriculture. I want you to share a little bit more about AgExpert as a second point. And then the third point, I really want to dive into data transparency in agriculture. That's a really big and hot topic, and I'd love to bring that to our Impact Farming audience. So you ready to go?
I am, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Darcy, you are the director at AgExpert. I can imagine you are passionate about technology. So I would love to hear from you and learn some of the reasons you feel that technology is important in agriculture. Can you share your thoughts on that?
I can, and I am very passionate about using technology to help farmers manage their farms better. I farm myself just southeast of Regina, and have been on that technical journey, maybe with both hats on, like my farmer hat and my job at FCC. I think though, when technology is a broad term, and in the past, I think Canadian farmers have always risen to the challenge of adopting technology. A lot of times in the past, though, that technology has helped them be better producers. So they grow more grain, make more milk, get more pounds of beef or chickens. And as far as management tools or technical management tools, we're maybe lagging behind, some of our counterparts around the world. If you look at the States or Australia or Europe, they're a little further on down the adoption curve of adopting technical management solutions. I think some of the reasons for Canadian farmers not, maybe getting on board as quick as some of our counterparts, though, or, number one is trust. I think we've heard loud and clear from our customers that, hey, they want to know and understand how we're using their data and making sure we're not using it against them, to gain market share or profit share. The other one is some of these solutions some of the historical solutions have been hard. They're tough. They're not simple or easy. And they're not that intuitive to use. And I think, farmers are busy and they don't necessarily always have time to stop when you're in a busy production cycle or production season, if you're, to stop and enter your records or digitize your records. So we've really focused on making it simple and easy and intuitive for farmers to start digitizing their records. And then the second one is, making it available when when the farmer has time to do it sometimes too, right? So if you can't do it always in the field or in the barn, something that cloud offers you is anytime, anywhere, any device access. So as we've transitioned our applications, our old desktop applications to the cloud, just that accessibility, and kind of having that application be ready when they are, I think is also important.
I think that's a good point. I don't know how many times I'm out and about doing my thing and I'm like, okay, I got to remember to do this. Of course, you get in the house, you get busy with something else and you totally forget, right? Versus if you can do it right there on your phone, big difference. And I love how you said that farmers are busy producing. And one of the things I always like to say, first off, is farmers love being out in the field or working with the animals. Farming is not always easy. And I've heard so many people say if farmers love to be behind a desk, they probably wouldn't be a farmer, right? They'd go get a job somewhere else and enjoy a lot less stress. So I think to me, that's probably one of the big reasons that farmers might lag a little bit, but there is so much power in a lot of these platforms. And to me, I break farming into two segments, and let me know if you agree with me. I break it into the production activities and the business activities. And often farmers will jump at the production oriented solutions where the business is like, that's not so sexy, right? And to me, I know when we got our farm we're actually on AgExpert, and that's one of the reasons I brought you guys on, because I believe it's such a fantastic and powerful tool. When we got on our farm onto the software and we started getting financials, it was unbelievable, the information that was there for us to analyze and then use to make decisions. So I actually, for that reason, wanted you guys to come on, because here on the Impact Farming Show, a little long-winded here, but my goal is to bring our audience the people and ideas that'll impact their farming operation. And I think way too many farmers don't give enough value to the power in business management tools like AgExpert accounting. That's the one I will speak to. And I know if anybody watches this show over and over again, they'll probably have heard me talk about the tractor a million times. When we got our software and everything was entered in, you get a year of data and you go, man, that tractor breaks down a fair bit. No names, of course, no brands. That tractor breaks down, but you kind of forget this bill and this bill. And at the end of the year, you get a tally, or monthly if you check it. The next year you go, it broke down again, that much? My goodness, let's analyze this data and maybe it's time to buy a new tractor. So that is why I wanted to throw that in there, because sometimes we don't appreciate the power in the numbers versus how fun and exciting it is to get new genetics for our beef herd or try a new variety for the field. And to me, that's one of the big reasons I started this show. So I am giving FCC and AgExpert a big plug here with this episode. And I would love for you to take a little bit of time and share the two different platforms that you guys offer and the benefits to farmers.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tracy. And that's music to my ears, because I think, most farmers love farming and they don't necessarily love bookkeeping. I don't love bookkeeping. I don't necessarily love digitizing my records. There's sometimes some of the last things you can do. So what we've tried to do is make it as easy as possible for farmers across the country to digitize their records. To that, and I'll speak mostly about our cloud applications. They're our newest applications. So Farm Credit's been in the business of software really since 2002, when we purchased a company called Settler Accounting, and that was one of the first. Settler's been around since I think '83, and one of the first software programs built specifically for farming.
Oh, wow.
So they had a software accounting package that FCC, lucky enough to purchase, and then we built that desktop platform, that older technology platform. Pretty much right up until 2017, and we took that technology as far as we could. And our customers were asking us for features that we just couldn't build on the desktop platform anymore. Things like anytime, anywhere usage, wanting to be able to share their data, all of that's hard on a desktop platform. So we've made the decision to go to the cloud. I won't get into too much what the cloud is or cloud computing, but it's everywhere. And you know, most software applications are hosted on a cloud provider now. And really what that's allowed us to do is bring those features to marry some of those in-season agronomy decisions or production decisions with the financial info. Where a farmer on their phone now can, you know, and you alluded to marrying some of that financial decision-making with some of the production decision-making, and that's really our goal. So if you're using our AgExpert field product, what we want to do is give farmers an easy way to track every single activity that they put into growing that crop in that growing season.
Okay.
You know, the foundation of AgExpert Field is the field. And what we allow our farmers to do then is track activities and then apply costs, their actual production costs to every activity they do on that field. So, you know, right now it's middle of July and there's been a lot of fungicide applications and there's some parts of the prairies have too much rain, some don't have enough, or some parts of Canada are in drought. Ontario was really dry. So for farmers to make that decision on, am I going to spray fungicide or not? It's really hard to do if you don't really know where you're at on a per acre, you know, cost per field or per crop type. So what we want to give is farmers just, you know, they know how to make the best agronomy decisions. We just want to make sure they're making those agronomy decisions with the bottom line top of mind also.
I love that.
So that's really what we focused on with our AgExpert Field platform. For AgExpert Accounting, you know, it's a full-fledged financial accounting package. So anything that you do in your farm from a financial management perspective, you can do on our AgExpert Accounting platform. Full payroll, full GST reporting. It has a chart of accounts that are built specifically for agriculture, so you don't have to go customize a chart of accounts to match your farm. Everything's there. And what we've tried to do is allow farmers that don't necessarily have an accounting or bookkeeping background an easy platform where they can start managing and digitizing the transactions they do. So it's easy. We've made it as easy as possible to enter an invoice, enter an expense, you know, pay an employee. You can net file your GST on our premium accounting package. Some of the things that are, you know, getting in the way they're hard and time consuming to do, we've tried to make as easy and simple as possible. Of course, that's always in the eye of the beholder, how, you know, easy is a perception. So what we also have is, you know, and I'm a little bit of a homer here, but we have the best support team in the industry, I think. We have, you know, a really committed team that really, you know, their whole job is to help farmers and help our customers use our software. So, you know, one of the benefits, if you ever do get stuck on anything, you know, you're a phone call away from getting a live person, you know, helping you with whatever you're doing, whether it's an accounting or bookkeeping problem or, you know, not being able to enter something in our field platform. You know, we have 7 or 8 professionals here, and you know, well, they're not in the office anymore. They're working from home, but they're there to help, and that's all they do all day, every day. You know, Monday to Friday throughout the year.
Okay, excellent. So I want to dive a little bit deeper because I know many producers I don't actually have a stat of how many producers use an accounting software. If you do, jump in. But I have a gut feeling, and I know, I'm going to think of a handful of farmers that I know. A good chunk of them are still not using a professional software. So I want to just go a little 101. So if I'm a farm that's not using a program to keep track of my income and expenses, AgExpert Accounting would be where I grab that shoebox of receipts and then we start entering them, right? And then the great thing as a business owner for Farm Marketer and our farm is we have our receipts that are entered. And at the end of every month, you can go in and just hit a button and then pull a report that says, here's your income for the month and here's your expenses. Often for farming, there might not be any income that month, but we're a little bit different in agriculture, right? We're more of an annual basis or seasonal. But the great thing is what I find in business and life in general, don't we know that? We think we're going to spend X much a month on the farm or personally, and then the end of the month comes and we go, my goodness, we spent $500 more than we planned. So same thing. And that's why I really just hammer home this subject. Often what we think our financials are not actually the reality until we get in and have a program. And it's not very hard. We enter the receipts, they're in there, you just hit buttons to pull reports, and then you have power. It seems a little intimidating. I'm just sharing my experience.
No.
Prior to being comfortable with using these, reading financials seem a little bit scary, but it's not. You look at the category and you look at the month and you go, oh my goodness, on repairs, we spent 10 grand this month. What is going on? Sorry, you can tell I don't like repairs. But that's one of the big ones on farming, right? Or at the end of the year, you get to this point and you go, we're spending $20,000 on miscellaneous. What is this? And then you can dive in. And to me, when we're a farm business, we got to be careful about our numbers, right? Because at the end of the day, business is business. And to me, software programs give you numbers, and numbers are power. That's my opinion.
I totally agree. And we do have some stats as far as how many farmers in Canada are using digital tools or digitizing their records. But you hit a few key points there. It's not just using digital records, it's actually using the data that's provided by them. So, most farmers, and in any modern equipment you buy, they're big data collection devices. We've found, though, with that data collection, the number one storage for Canadian farm data is in a USB stick in your armrest console in your combine or your tractor or your sprayer. That data doesn't always get aggregated or collected in one centralized place where farmers are using it to make decisions. So of the 50% maybe of farmers across Canada that are using technology or gathering data, 7 to 10% might be, the top of people that are actually using that data to make decisions or to analyze their farm differently than they've done in the past. And I think you hit on something key as well in your buildup. You just got to take a little bit of time every day or, throughout the day to get, to keep current and get those invoices entered or get those, those expenses or transactions entered into your accounting platform. But the power that you have by knowing your current position throughout the year, I think it can really help separate, farms as far as maybe getting past that next stage of growth or making a little bit more money, or sometimes or often it's actually spending a little less money, knowing where if miscellaneous is starting to creep up. It's kind of to understand that in December you're too late. But if you can see that in June or July, you might be able to at least mentally make some different decisions or just mentally start thinking about your numbers, your financials differently. One of the things we're seeing, especially over the last couple of years, is just farmers understanding their cash flow position.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to do. So what we've tried to do with our AgExpert accounting platform is just, as you mentioned, you enter your invoices and your expenses throughout the year. And it's not that some of these concepts are more difficult to understand, but you're right. You have to start somewhere and you have to learn. And we want our platform to grow with the user. So as the users get more comfortable with it, there's more and more power there. So, things like you having an income statement, a balance sheet, your cash flow statement, doing budgeting. There's sometimes harder concepts to grasp. So what we try to do is make it as easy as possible to just enter the information. A lot of farms have, consulting and accounting advice. So you can really actually get more out of that, the money you're spending on your accountants as well, by just having a little better idea or understanding when you go in there, and just have a little more educated, maybe conversations with your accountants. But you hit the nail on the head. It all starts with getting that information in a digital format.
Love it. Love it. The funny thing is, there's 4 different personality types in life. They say they teach you that in business. And there is one that is naturally, 1 out of 4 that naturally gravitates to numbers. Those people become your accountants, people that work with numbers all the time. I am not that person. I've taught myself to become that number, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but that it started from just getting those numbers in there, like you said, not to repeat, and then looking and going, wait a minute, how does that connect with that? Because as a business person, that is the single most powerful thing I've ever done to change the state of our farm business and farm marketer. So again, I could probably talk about this for 10 hours, but I want to get you to share some wisdom on some of the next things I had to ask you about, unless you have anything to add on that point.
No, I don't think so. I think, I'd probably be a willing participant in your 10-hour conversation on understanding farm data better, but we should move on.
Okay, then on that note, we'll move on to the next one. So one of the big challenges I can imagine is farmers being concerned about their data. We talk about big data and the cloud, and sometimes we maybe hear data breaches and all these crazy, scary things. And if we're not in technology, and even if we are, sometimes that can be a little bit scary. So I want to talk to you about what you guys have experienced. What are some of farmers' concerns when using programs, platforms like yours, and what has AgExpert done to address those concerns?
Well, that's a really, really good question, Tracy. And I think, I'll start maybe with at the end with what Farm Credit's done is we've brought in the Ag Data Transparent Seal. So what the Ag Data Transparent Seal is, it's just a promise or a commitment that Farm Credit Canada's AgExpert platform is going to be very open and honest and transparent with how we use, store, and share the farmer's data that we're privileged to store. So one of the things that we've said off the bat is it's not our data. It's actually the farmer's data. They own it. They have the right to leave our platform. They have the right to take their data with us or with them when they leave. And we're not going to give it to anybody without their permission. So what the perception or what we've done with it is we want to make it in our platform easy for farmers to share their data with people who they choose or companies who they choose to share it with.
Okay.
And what we're starting to build now is an ecosystem of like-minded ag data transparent companies that we can integrate with. That's the power of the cloud. So we have an overriding use case in everything we do to give farmers the ability to enter their data once on any system, and that could mean it's machine system right off your sprayer, right off your air seed or air drill, off your combine, and have it enter into your system, and then have the choice to use that multiple times to solve multiple business cases or different business processes. But we want to put the power all in the hands of the farmer and make them understand on our platform, on the AgExpert platform, it's their data. We're giving them the software and the ability to share it with others.
I love that. And that has been a lot for anybody that follows it a little bit or a lot. That is one of the big topics in agriculture. Farmers are going, wait a minute, I'm giving you all this data from my field, and what are you guys doing with it? You're selling it. What is happening? And I can imagine there is more than one farmer that's going to be watching this episode here with us going, yeah, I don't want my data shared. I don't want it sold. I don't want it manipulated against me. So that's really neat to hear that you guys have that. So pretty much the farmer owns their data, which is great to know. And you guys do not share unless the farmer gives permission.
Yeah, and even just to further that point a little bit, the farmer chooses who he or she wants to share their data with.
Oh, okay.
So it's always event driven from the person that owns our software subscription. So we don't share data with anybody, but we really make it easy for farmers to. And more and more companies. It's an international seal. It was actually developed and designed in the States. We looked internally at Farm Credit into kind of making our own ag data transparency rules. And we found one with a bunch of like-minded companies. It just happened to, be developed out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And we decided to bring that seal to Canada as the first Canadian company to become ag data transparent. In agriculture, though, there's very few Canadian-only countries or companies. Most of these companies, they're big multinationals. So, we have lots of different partners. And if anybody is curious, go to the Ag Data Transparent site. It'll tell you which companies have achieved their Ag Data Transparent seal. And what we like about it is those companies, although they might be somewhat using the data differently, they're all very transparent with how they're using their data. And their customers have the choice then to use that company or do business with that company or not. But there's none of this, after the fact, oh, I didn't know you were doing this with my data or that with my data. We're very open with it.
I love that. So I believe when I was looking it up, they shorten it to ADT, right? ADT transparent, or if you want to look it up online at home, that's how you guys can find it. Because I was trying to learn a little bit more, and it's actually really cool. I love it.
Yeah, if you Google Ag Data Transparent, it'll take you right to their website. I'm not sure if I haven't Googled ADT, but I believe their website is agdatatransparent.com. It'll take you right there. It'll show you the principles behind it, who's achieved their seal. Everything really you want to know about that seal. Is the best place to go is the website.
Okay, love it. Okay, so I'm learning a ton here, talking about something I'm passionate about, and I'm sure our audience is loving this too. So we've chatted about the benefits of technology. We've chatted about AgExpert, what you guys do, the benefits to farmers, the Ag Data Transparency Program seal. Now, I want to pick your brain as a very smart guy in ag technology. So we know that you guys are part of the ADT seal of approval transparency. Now, that probably has farmers out there going, well, I work with a lot of companies and I don't know who is certified and who is not, but I want to add a little more value here to our audience. The potential ways that data can be used. The ways that FCC doesn't use it. You're speaking to Tracy, the farmer, at home watching this show right now. What are different questions or things that farmers should look for in the fine print when it comes to signing up with companies to find out how they use your data? Because I will admit, I'm techie. Sometimes you get to these terms and condition pages and you have to be a lawyer to read them. Sometimes I probably just say accept because I want to get on with it. But there could be some stuff in there that I'm saying yes to that I should probably read up on a little bit more. So as a farmer, what questions should we be asking, looking for when we're signing up?
Really, really good question. And to that point on the really, lawyery speak, 12-page small font user agreements, that is one of the principles of Ag Data Transparency, is that our user and data agreements will be in plain speak, they'll be easily understood. Nice. You don't need 3 lawyers to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, or you shouldn't. But yeah, that's something we keyed in on a long time ago, as have other ag tech companies as well. And we get a chance to meet and talk to all these other ag tech companies, whether or not they have the ADT seal. I think for the most part, they're all concerned and ready and willing to answer questions to their customers about how they use their data. So I encourage everybody, whether you're an AgExpert customer or not, ask those basic questions about how are you using my data? Are you sharing my data? Is your platform secure? Where is it hosted? All of those things, any question that you have to make you feel or make any farmer feel better about how their data is being used or stored, I think is on the table to be asked. One of the things that we're trying to help farmers and working with farmers to get them to better understand is there's value in that data. And there might be value, to you as an individual farmer, and just proving something is unique or different about the produce that you're producing on your farm. So, if you're, let's say you're a wheat grower and you put on X amount of fertilizer, you treat it with certain pesticides or didn't treat it with certain crop protection products, there's some value in that. And especially the way the markets or it seems the buying trends are going towards, consumers want to know more about their food and the ingredients that go into their food. So, I think getting this digital or digitization of your records is only going to prove that, and make sure farmers understand that they see there's value in that data, and ask questions for whatever ag tech provider you're using that, helps you feel safer or better about, protecting that value.
Okay. So what do you do with our data? Do you sell it? How do you protect it? Yeah. All those good questions.
Can I take it with me if I decide not to be a customer anymore? Can I take my data with me? Is it secure? Is it safe? Do you share it with anybody? I think those are the basic ones. There's also some good questions on the Ag Data Transparent website, that farmers can ask of their providers. And maybe the most important thing is, and I know sometimes those data usage agreements are long and boring. That might be a key, that you need to ask a few more questions, but take the time to read it. I know I can only speak from AgExpert's example. We try to put ours in big font, plain speak, easy to understand, and we've worked a lot with our own internal legal department, making it as easy to understand as possible. So if I can understand it, I'm by no means a lawyer. I'm hoping, and I'm sure most farmers or most of our AgExpert customers can understand also.
Excellent. Okay, that is some pretty great wisdom right there. I'm going to work to wrap the episode up, and I wanted to know if you have any other words of wisdom. You just shared a lot of good stuff there, but do you have words of wisdom to share with our audience in terms of getting the farm digitized, about their concerns? Do you have any thoughts to share?
Yeah, I have a few. Anybody that knows me will probably be questioning you, calling me wise, but I'll share what I can with you and your audience.
You're humble.
I think the biggest thing is there's power in the data and power in the numbers, and I know it's intimidating to start.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't know where to start, it's okay. I got to go do something more productive because I can't stare at my computer screen anymore. If you're using the AgExpert platform, I just encourage you to use that 1-800 number, 1-877 number, phone our service desk, get some help, ask your accountant, ask the professionals out there to help you, because there is a lot of consulting advice. There are a lot of professionals, whether it's an accountant or bookkeeper or agronomist. A lot of them are well-versed in data and well-versed in using digital tools. So if you're not comfortable phoning our service desk, ask somebody in your professional network to help you, but just get started. I think you alluded to it before. You got to enter invoices one at a time. So you just got to start. You got to start small, and don't worry about, having or using all of the power of the tool. Start using one thing. Maybe it's just, hey, I'm going to net file my GST because it's really simple and easy and it'll save me hours of time. So by entering your invoices and your expenses throughout the year, it really makes filing your GST easier. So once you can get kind of your head wrapped around that, then start looking at some of our reports, or start, just start somewhere, and don't be maybe paralyzed by kind of fear or just not feeling confident enough. Just start. Anybody can do it. And if you need some help, don't be afraid to put your hand up and ask for it.
Love it. And one of the things I always do as a business person is don't forget there's people out there to help you. Just like you said, right? There are bookkeepers that use AgExpert. I actually, because I don't have time and I need to focus on other areas in my life, I hire a bookkeeper that works in AgExpert accounting, and she generates it for me. So if you're a busy farming family and you want those numbers, maybe the answer is not you entering receipt by receipt. It's finding a bookkeeper too. I want to throw that out there because fear and time are often big objections, right?
No, that's exactly right. And we have AgExpert analysts, and we have a broad range from every province in Canada of people that are AgExpert experts, I guess, to lack of a better term. That will help. You can find that all on our website, fccagexpert.ca. Chances are there's somebody in your area in rural Canada that, is a certified AgExpert expert that'll help you with your books or your farm management, our AgExpert Field Solution. Or, we also have a 1-800 number, so call and get one of our customer service agents to help.
Excellent, Darcy. What a great interview. I know I learned a ton, and I know our audience did as well. So I want to thank you and FCC. I have said it a few times, and I will continue to say it. I'm a big FCC fan. You guys are always creating programs, lending programs to help farmers. Great industry initiatives like Ag More Than Ever. And now I love the fact that you are stepping up with the ADT seal and really taking care of farmers and their data. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to FCC for all you guys do. And thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Impact Farming Show. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Darcy. Take care.
You've been listening to Impact Farming. For more great episodes and articles designed to help you manage and grow your farming operation, head on over to farmmarketer.com. Don't forget to sign up while you're there. We will see you on the next episode.